And now, let's talk about Tokusatsu.
The first known Tokusatsu was Gakko Kamen on Moonlight Mask in 1958, and it centred around a lone hero that never revealed his identity, and thus it wasn't about a civilian transforming. In the 1960s, Japan created a show called Ultra Q where people solved mysteries. At some point, Ultraman was introduced. Soon, they decided to drop the mystery angle and just have Ultraman fighting aliens. And the rest is history. In 1971, a show started about a cyborg who was kidnapped by Shocker but escaped before he could be brainwashed. He then fought Shocker. The show was called Kamen Rider. Then in 1973 it was followed with Kamen Rider V3, then X, then short series Amazon, then Stronger, then it was put on hiatus until 1979's Sky Rider reboot. In 1975, the same year as Kamen Rider Stronger, a show called Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger began. This was about a team of 5 who fought the Black Cross Army. This led on to Jacka. Then there was 1 year break, but that was the only year break Sentai ever had. Battle Fever J saw out the 1970s. In 1978, during Sentai's only year break, Toei and Marvel co-produced a Japanese Spider-Man series. Other notable 70s Toku include Kikaider and Zubat. Sky Rider finished in 1980, then Super 1 aired. Then after Super 1, Kamen Rider had a long break. In 1987, Kamen Rider Black aired to great success, and it was followed up by a sequel, Kamen Rider Black RX, but then Kamen Rider was off air again. Well, obviously this wouldn't do, so in 1982, Toei created Space Sheriff Gavan to fill in the gap. This kicked off the Metal Hero franchise for the 80s. There were 3 space sheriffs, Just Beyond, Jiku Senshi Spielban, the good but unpopular Metalder, Jiraiya and the non-human Jiban. As for Sentai, the 80s were a great decade. Bioman, Flashman, Masked Man, Live Man, to name a few, this decade had it all. Some Sentai were begun to be shown abroad in countries such as France, South Korea and parts of South America. Metal Heroes were still going strong at the start of the decade, what with Winspector, Soulbrain and Exi-Draft. Then after Jan Person, Blue SWAT and the B-Fighter shows, it went downhill and was axed. Super Sentai's fortunes were a mixed bag. Jetman and Die Ranger were popular, but then O-Ranger did terribly. Car Ranger managed to save the Super Sentai series, and this led on to shows such as Mega Ranger and Gingaman. In 1993, Haim Saban's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers adapted Sentai for a Western audience and stayed. An unfortunate side effect of this was that many countries stopped showing Sentai. In 1996, MMPR was replaced by Power Rangers Zeo. Then in 1997, Power Rangers Turbo, despite being the adaptation of Car Ranger, nearly killed the franchise, and it took Power Rangers in Space to save it. Finally, Kamen Rider Cougar broke the unlucky streak and Kamen Rider continues to the present day. 8 standalone series followed until Kamen Rider Decade came out. It was about Tsukasa interacting with parallel universe versions of the previous 9 riders. This was vastly disappointing, as the original actors did not reprise their roles. The decade ended with Kamen Rider Double, moving Kamen Rider to a September slot. The noughties kicked off with Mirai Sentai Time Ranger. This led on to many great Sentai. For example, Deca Ranger, Bokenger, Geki Ranger and Shinkenger. After the Fantastic Time Force, Power Rangers was sold to Disney. This resulted in a mixed bag. Some series were very good, while some series were very bad. There were lots of other Tokusatsu during the 2000s too, including Ryukendo, the Choseishin series, PDSM and the first Garou. Kamen Rider Double continued until September 2010, and then Kamen Rider O's showed up, a very good programme indeed. Fourze and Wizard were a bit bland. Then Time was really good. Now Drive is a bit bland again. Sentai was nudged, whimpering into the tens with Go Seiger. Then Go Kaija really shook things up. Go Kaija was the 35th anniversary show about turning into old teams. Then Go Busters and Kyoryuja were a bit bland. Then there was Tokyuja, quite a good show. Now Nin Ninja has brought the first male yellow in 10 years. After a year's break, Power Rangers was brought back by Saban. Samurai was underwhelming. Megaforce was very cynical. Super Megaforce was tolerable. Dino Charge is good.
Next time, let's talk about international song contests.